I have picked a page. Oh, I can't open the book. I've put some paper in. I thought we could have a go at this really lovely bird. Hang on, I just need to push my book underneath my pencil tin so that I can move it across for us to see properly. Sorry, fiddling around. There we go. I thought it would be a fun one to do. We could sort of do the whole page in one go, I'm hoping. I've picked my Castle Arts gold pencils. Just thought they might work. I don't know how well things are going to work on this paper, having only coloured one picture before from this book. And I used polychromos, which worked an absolute treat. They were brilliant. So anyway, let's have a start. I'm going to start with the beak. And whoops, I'm going to grab my pencil. I need to sharpen already before we've even started. I want to do a sort of goldeny looking beak. I'm not going to make a complex gold or anything. I'm just going to use the cadmium yellow, which is a really nice goldy yellow colour. And I'm going to put it around the edges of the beak. And then fade towards the middle a little bit and make a little bit of shine. I am ignoring those circles, which are sort of the nostrils, as it were, I guess, because I think they just look okay as they are without being coloured. You may struggle to see them much. So I'm going to use the golden yellow as well. I'll try it and see if I can mute out the big bang that I just made, but I may not be able to. Unfortunately, my editing skills are not brilliant. So we'll see what I can do. Okay, I'm just going to dust that away. So there's our beak. Now what I was thinking is I might do some gemstony colours on the detailing and then keep the main bird a bit more dull and maybe in a blue or something. So I thought I would start with this sort of top bit here. It's like, looks like the centre of a flower. So I think we'll go in with the same colours that we use for the beak. So I'm going to use the cadmium yellow to start with and do this sort of outside bit here. I have to say I rather like the paper in this book. I don't know why I'm surprised. I shouldn't be really. Not doing anything fancy. And I'm going to use the golden yellow for that. Whoops, for that sort of background bit. I wasn't sure what to expect, I suppose. Now for the this sort of little floral part, I thought this top bit I would keep quite light. I'm going to use this colour, oops, the purple light for the sort of outside bit. I'm not doing a lot of shading at the moment. It's quite a small detail, this bit, so I'm just sort of layering up until the colour is as vibrant as I want it to be, really. So I can see the paper through a little bit, so just adding a bit more until I'm happy. I'm going to do the edges of each of these petals. Well, that's what I'm thinking they are anyway. With this light purple. Yeah, I found it suited the polys really well. I did layer up a lot, and I did a pastel background because it was easier, which I will do with this one as well. I may do a cloud, use my cloud stencil actually for this one because it would seem, you know, it's flying, it would seem right. I've seen lots of this pages from this book done with beautiful watercolour backgrounds, and it's just not something that I can achieve. I've messed around a little bit with watercolour pencils and watercolour paints to try and make fancy backgrounds, and it just looks awful. It's just something that I need to really practice. I just thought, oh, I'll have a go, but no, of course it's just like everything else. It doesn't just come. French Rose, you need to practice. And so I decided that rather than practicing doing that, I will just concentrate on what I know and enjoy and practice that instead. So yeah, this is a lighter colour, which is what I wanted. Again, I'm going to keep it quite, just layer it down so that it's vibrant without worrying about shading. And my plan was to get light, darker as we go down these sort of layers of flower. So sticking with this sort of pinks and purples. I wasn't sure whether to do these bits in the same. I think I will. Oops, I've missed one, haven't I? Actually, I could do the others. So these ones the same, the ones that were in between, and then we'll change colour for the next bit. Or else I'm going to run out of colours. It's quite bright, I think, which is my plan. There we go, and the purple light again, just for the outsides and those central bits as well. I feel a bit coldy, so you have to excuse my voice. I feel my throat feels really sort of gravelly, and I just had a look in the mirror, it's all red. So, but I had been sucking sweets yesterday. I don't normally have sugar and sweets, but I needed something to keep my sinuses unblocked and to stop it hurting. But today, because I'm recording, I can't be doing that, so I may have to just take a few sips of water. I'm going to go back in with the French Rose and just fill in a few gaps that I can see that I'm not happy with. You could use a blender to do this, but there we go. Okay, now I'm going to move on to some purple. I could have blown my nose, sorry. Let's have a look at we've got this purple which is a sort of pinky purple, and I'm going to use that one first, but I'm going to do that for the centre parts because it's pale. And then we're what I find quite funny is the purple light we use for the outsides of these actually seems darker than this purple. I should have looked at my swatch chart, but never mind. Hopefully it will all come together. Now I've got some leaves here. Might do those in green. I've got a sort of nice emeraldy colour. Can look quite jewel-like. Yeah, I just noticed that my son left his computer behind today at college. Oh, but he's got maths first lesson. They've got a test. In fact, they've done the test by now, so that's okay. Won't need it for that. And then he's got a bit of a free period. No, I think they're doing some revision. And then he's got a bit of a free period, so he was probably going to use it for that and do some work, but he said I did message him to tell him he'd left it behind so he didn't panic and think that he'd sort of lost it, because I wasn't sure if he would notice immediately. I'm trying to pick a colour that's just slightly darker. Yes, the Cobalt purple is a slightly darker purple, which we can use for these edges. Or it's a different purple. I'm not necessarily say it was darker. But it's okay. It's all going to work and tie up nicely, I think. It's such a pretty book. I had been worrying about whether to get it or not, in the sense that there are people in the book and I'm a bit scared of colouring people. But I think I will have to get there. I actually did a picture at the weekend, which was from the Colouring Heaven Wildwood Witches magazine, and it was a witch, so I had to do her skin and I'm getting a bit more confident, which is good. So I thought it looked better. Normally I do it quite pale because I'm not very confident, if that makes sense, but I'm getting a bit better. What do we have? I'm just having a little look. We've got a Mauve Deep and a Lavender. I think we'll use those next. And which is the darkest? The Lavender. So we'll use the Mauve Deep. I'm just going to sharpen it. What I'll do here is miss out the bits that I think I want to do green, like leaves. So I'm thinking all these ones, maybe. So I'll just go in here and do this one. Oh, that didn't like it being sharpened, did it? We'll try it one more time. If it breaks again, I'll do it on my other sharpener. Yes, it has. Hold on a minute. Right, I am back with a nicely sharp pencil, and I will carry on. I was just checking my messages from my son actually, but he said he can cope without his computer, but I suggested he might want to borrow his brother's maybe, because his brother's got the afternoon off, so he's coming home to study, so he can use his PC. We'll see, they can sort it out between them. But yeah, he'd put it on to charge and then forgotten it. It's I think that might all be a leaf. But do I want to do leaf colours? Yeah, that one looks like a petal. I'm going to do that bit as a petal. So yeah, he really should write himself a note when he puts it on to charge so that he remembers to grab it, but it's easy to say, isn't it? He had a really busy weekend. He worked 1.5 days of the weekend on some maths. I really hope that he does well in the test because he's worked so hard. Yeah, I'm going to do the darker colour. What was I going to do? Lavender. And then decide about the other bits, whether to colour them in green or not. It's really similar, a very similar colour to what we've used. It needs sharpening. I feel a bit scared of sharpening now because of that one breaking. No, it's fine. Just checking it's recording. I had an instant last week where I thought I was recording and I wasn't. I had to re-record the video. I think I'll just do the whole of that. But it's fine today. It was my battery had gone in my remote control. Seems to go quite quickly, but I guess I use it a lot. What to do here? I think I'm going to do all these bits. Change my mind about this and do it in purple. I've decided not to do green. Maybe for those that look really like leaves, but not for these bits. I shall have to come back with my slightly lighter colour in a minute and fill this in. That's okay. We'll go here, that's right. My stomach's rumbling. Should be fine. It's not time for a meal yet. Right. See, we've got these that look leafy as well. I think. I find it easier to sort of think as I go than to sort of try and plan it all in advance. I need to see how it's developing and what it looks like so I can decide. So we're going to go back to the Mauve Deep and just do this bit down here. Am I going to do that one? No, I'm going to get a deeper purple for the last bits. I think I might do all of the last bits in one shade. What have we got? We've got the heather purple is the deepest. And what's the next one? Purple lake. What are those two then? What's mauve? Sorry, I'm looking at my swatch chart, so I'm going to go for Purple Lake next. Give it a sharpen. There we go. And do all the sort of lighter areas. I never used to really be into pinks and purples, you know. And I've just sort of lately started using them a lot. 2 pictures I did over the weekend were pink and purple. Not sure what that is. I'm just going to put some colour in there. And in this bit. I'm still debating these leaves, so I'm just leaving them for now. I'll have a think. Yeah, I did a bright purpley elephant picture. But my husband suggested the colours for that and it worked really well. And then I did another one with purple just because it seemed to work somehow. I think all these and these smaller ones I'm going to do as part of the wing, so I'm not going to use these bright colours. Now I don't know if this is the bird that's on the other page here, him, or a different bird. I don't know if there's a story that goes through this book, I don't think so. But I won't do them the same. Well, unless I feel like it on the day. It's not going to be like a conscious, I have to do them the same type thing. So we'll just see how it pans out really. Might be years until I do that other page, I don't know. I've been trying to think actually about a new challenge for next month. Just trying to think, it might be next month already by the time this video goes out. But anyway, for June, in May I challenged myself to colour 1 page from every colouring book that I started. And that was really fun. And I did it. And I have now, it's I can't think what the date is. 10, 11, 12, 13, about 17th maybe? Hang on, I've got to check now. I've got a tablet here. It's the 16th. Anyway, I've got 2 left, or 3, I think, something like that. So I know I'm going to do it, which is great. But I don't want to have the same challenge next month. So I've got to think. The month before I challenged myself to finish 2 books, which I did. But next month I doubt I'll be able to do that. I might be able to, but I think it makes for a bit of a more interesting flip through at the end of the month for you if not every picture is from the same book, and then I've got a completed book flip through of the same book as well. So I want to make sure I get a spread. So I could do the same again, or I could focus on a particular author maybe and do several from their book. I don't know. It's quite fun thinking about what to do. So we're going with the heather purple now. This is the darkest purple in the set. And I'm just going to work on the bits that I've left. And as you can see, I've done no shading here. As I say, I will when we get onto the these bigger areas. But I don't really want to do it on these smaller areas. I think it's nice sometimes having a solid area of colour, and I know some of you don't do shading anyway, and I've seen beautiful pictures with no shading. There isn't always any need. It just depends on how you approach your picture. But I do find if I want to lay down a really solid block of colour, sometimes I think I might be better off using pen, but I don't have many and I'm not actually very good at using pen. It's not something I'm well practiced in. Gosh, it's quite a murky day today. It's it rained really heavily in the night. My son is really tired because I kept waking him up because he's up in the attic. It sort of makes a lot of noise on the roof, and he had his windows open because it was hot. So he woke up, it was really noisy, it woke him up, and then he was too hot to go back to sleep, poor lad. And it's only, the sun's coming out actually. It's only about 20 degrees in the day, so it's not that hot at night yet. So he's going to get hotter, poor lad. Where are we going? Oh, we're here. But he sometimes will go and sleep in his brother's room downstairs if it gets really hot. He's not so comfortable there, he doesn't sleep so well, but if it's boiling he can't sleep at all. So, but the newspapers today were saying it's going to get up to 28 degrees, but soon. But I hope they're wrong. Because I don't need it that hot. I know some people like it really hot, but it's difficult when you're trying to work and just live your life. It's all very well when you're on holiday in Spain and it's hot. You can just move around slowly, nap when you want to, dip in the pool to cool off, you know. And you might be on the coast where there's a nice breeze. It's a bit different to here, and it's very hot and you have to still function. Okay, I am going to do a few greens. The sun is so bright in here. It's creeping across our page as well, which isn't brilliant. I think I'm going to shut the blind, actually. 1 minute. Now, I often find the lamp takes a while to adjust. I think it's coming. Now, I will choose my green anyway while it's... I'm just looking at my swatch chart here. I want a bluey green. I'm tempted by the Pthalo Turquoise. I think that's what I'm going to use. I think it's down here. There it is. Give it a sharpen, and then we'll do our leaves. We've only got a few now, which is better. I think some of the items that I was thinking of leaving as leaves I coloured in, and I think it's just going to give it a nice balance. I have to find out my summer hat. It's this sunny. I don't like the sun getting on my face. I always get a red nose in the sun. I get burnt, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. I know it's not good for my skin to always get sunburn all year in the same place. So I've got a really broad brimmed hat, which probably looks very silly, but it shades my nose from the sun most of the time, which is good. My nose sticks out quite a lot. It's quite long, so the tip gets sunburnt. There we go. So that is our sort of central part, which I think is fun. And now the main bird, I was thinking, what colour should we do? I had originally thought of greys, but now I'm thinking let's do it blue. I'm thinking blues might be nice. What have we got? We've got some nice ultramarines and things like that, which might be really good. And we've got an ultramarine light. I'm going to actually start with that and do this sort of head part. So I'm just going to do a light layer. It's quite a vibrant colour, so we might not necessarily need too many layers. Put a little bit in between these gaps here as well, and just take it all over. Try not to do the centre of the eye, although you can redraw it on. If you do accidentally go over it, you can redraw it on with a white pen if you've got one, or erase it. But erasing it could be tricky because you've got the black, and if you erase the black it could fade it, so just be careful. We also don't want to go out of the lines on the beak and turn it green. So there's our base, and what I'm going to do is make it a little bit darker along the edge of the bird, like that. And along this edge. Like that. Now I'd quite like this central area to be lighter, but it needs a bit more. So I've got, what's the colour? Cobalt Turquoise is a nice light blue. I'm just going to go over the inside area where I want it to be lighter to just burnish it and without making the colour too dark. And you might want to put shadow along this edge where it's nearer to the pattern, but I've decided I just wanted it around the edge of the bird. There, and I'm just going to grab the darker colour again and do a little more with that. Let's just get the two colours working together. So back to the Ultramarine Light. Of course the sun's gone in now, I've shut the blind, but I shall leave it shut because it'll be across the page otherwise and disturbing what I'm trying to show you. There we go, there is his head. And I'm going to use the same colours for the rest. Now we do have these outline lines, and on this bit we did those in a darker colour. So I think what I'm going to do is do those in a darker colour. So I'm going to leave them all for now. And I'm going to use my darker blue, which is the Ultramarine Light, to start with. And use it here. And then fade it like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on every bit, like that, and on here, and fade, and on there, and everywhere. Then get the Cobalt Turquoise colour and start at the other end with a thick layer, and then reduce it towards here and blend those colours together. Yeah. So get a nice solid blue colouring, but it's blended, a blend of the two colours. This one really hasn't gone far enough. I think I really want to take it at least halfway, if not a bit further, for like that. So I get a nice blend. There we go. And I'm going to do that across the whole bird. Now I don't think I need to keep showing you how to do it. You can see how beautifully these pencils blend, which is lovely. But what I am going to do is just show you the outline. I'm going to use the Indigo light for all of these outside areas, and it will be really quite dark like that. I'm not going to do too many or else it's going to smudge. So that's how I'm going to do all of the wings of the bird. These bits here, I'm going to use the Indigo, I think, to fill that in, just because otherwise I can't think of what colour I would do it. Like that. Okay. I'll do the other side as well while I'm just finishing up and checking I've shown you everything. I think these, I'll just show you those because they get a little bit small. There we go. So the Ultramarine Light, on this one again, we do it quite heavily here. and then start to fade it like that. And the same here, but as they get smaller it gets a little bit more tricky, I have to admit, so I should show you. So here we can really push it on there and just fade it quickly. So it's just a matter of doing a small amount. Okay, and then grabbing the, whoops, nearly dropping it, the Cobalt Turquoise. And just blending it through. Just blends seamlessly, look at that. Okay, now I'm going to finish this in my own time. It's not going to take me too long, but I don't really want to keep on and showing you the same thing over and over. But you can see the technique hopefully, and you'll be able to do it on your own. And for the background, now there are different options for the background. You could do it black and the bird will stand out, but because we've done such a dark indigo here, it might, these edges of all the wings might be lost. So you want to do a black background, you might want to outline the bird in white so that these stand out more. You could do clouds, that's my thought. I'm probably going to do cloud stencil, but I might not do blue. We've got a lot of blue going on, so I might do the clouds pink and purple to match here, or even yellow to match this, not sure. Another option is just a plain pastel background. Some people would do some beautiful watercolour splodgy thing and it would just look amazing. I can't do that, but if you can do that, go do it. Amazing, amazing. So those are my sort of ideas really for background, or you could leave it white. You know, the bird is really going to stand out against a white background, so that's another idea. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to finish this because it won't take me too long, and take a photo for the end of the video, and the background will be in there if I've done one. But thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.